At the risk of being too deep before 8 a.m.,
Mm.
I would say that the passengers of Titanic really symbolize all of humanity, and that the iceberg really symbolizes the awesome power of the universe. So, really, Titanic is a story for every man, and she really speaks to the human condition, which is why she draws people to this very dangerous place.
That wasn't deep at all. We enjoyed that very much, and I think you're absolutely right. When did you get interested in the Titanic, and how far does your interest go?
Well, I watched a film called A Night to Remember, which some of your listeners may be aware of, written by Walter Lord as a book, and it was extremely gripping for me as aged about 7 or something. And my uncle was taught maths by Lawrence Beasley, who survived the Titanic. So I had a slight, very slight sort of personal connection through a relative there. And
Mm.
then I started to read the first-hand accounts. And if you want to know what really happened on Titanic, you need to read the first-hand accounts
Yeah.
rather than the sort of second, third-hand ones.
Um, have you ever been tempted to get near it?
Yes, I have, but I've got a young family, and it takes a long time. You've got it takes a couple of days to get out to the States and get on a ship to the wreck site. It then takes 2.5 hours to fall down to the seabed. You're then in the soft mud. It's pitch black. It's freezing cold unless you've got battery generating some warmth,
Mm.
and then you have to drop ballast rather like a hot air balloon underwater. You have to drop iron or stone in order to then be able to rise up. And that takes another 2.5 hours. So the whole thing's pushing the envelope of technology. And as we're finding out tragically at the moment, we all hope and pray that they'll be rescued. But the problem is, so few subs can actually operate at that depth. And
Mm.
I'm not aware of any sub that's large enough to actually recover the sub in question.
Well, that could, that could be a problem. But you've heard that there have been they've heard banging noises. Banging noises have been heard overnight. So that must give you some hope.
It does, in the sense that the explorers down there are obviously still alive. But the problem is, what would really give me hope is if it was spotted bobbing on the surface by
Mm.
a beady-eyed helicopter pilot, because then it could be rescued. My concern at the moment is, okay, so now we know they're alive. That's a positive at this stage. We also know where they are, very near the wreck. That's a positive at this stage. But it seems that they may be trapped in the wreckage. There are also fishing nets, drag nets, which actually get snagged on the Titanic's wreck. And they could be caught in a fishing net or something like that. And
Gosh.
my concern is we do not have the technology today to do a sub to sub rescue of human life at that depth.
Mm. And presumably people know that they know the risks.
They do know the risk, but you and I and your listeners today, we've all quote unquote signed our lives away to do motor racing or bungee jumping or whatever it is, and we all think yes, 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 they're just this is just the forms we've got to fill in.
Mm.
Of course, with the Titanic, it's very dangerous, but I believe that all the people that are on that sub now, they all believed and maybe still believe that they're coming back.